Welcome, everyone. I am Mayor Westmoreland, and we have with us today Brad Hickman from our Parks Department. Welcome, Brad.
Hey, thanks, Mayor. Thanks for having me.
So tell us what's happening in parks. Parks are important to Eagle Mountain, and there's a lot going on. What do we have?
Yeah, we have a lot of projects going on right now. It's been a busy few years, last couple of years, and just trying to get park projects completed and continuously having projects on the slate to continue moving forward, to keep making improvements for the residents in the city. And it's been really busy, but really fun at the same time. So I can just kind of run down a list and just kind of go through some of the park projects that we've been working on, and maybe some that are coming up here in the near future.
Yeah, let's get into details. But before we go there, let's mention that the city has taken on a master plan for parks, trails, and open space, because we are one of the fastest growing cities, and we've got a lot of land that we need to plan for. So each of these projects fall within that plan, so that it all works together and are optimized for our residents.
Yeah, and with that plan, I think what the plan is really intended to accomplish is it'll showcase where we will have bike trails, equestrian trails, OHV trails. It's more of a plan that goes beyond our basic trail plan that we have throughout the city, but it's more of the natural trail type plan where we can identify and start really quantifying and counting what trails we have in the community, and identifying them and making sure that we secure the land that's necessary. And if some of the trails have to go away over time with development, we know that we have some other land that we can pick up so we can move those trails. So that's the real intent, is to get them laid out, identify them, quantify them, and make sure that we're counting and quantifying everything that's out there so that we can plan for the future.
And of course, part of that is improvements in trailheads, parking lots, bathrooms, things like that, those facilities that make those trails much more usable. Well, of course, Wright Park is considered the jewel of the city. So let's start there.
Okay.
There's a lot happening out there. So
yeah, that's been a busy project this year. Like I said, with parks this year, the supplies and everything that are in these parks have been really hard to get on some of the items, just due to lack of quantities. But we've been fortunate to keep these projects moving along. And with Wright, I think it's going to be an awesome park. We're definitely proud of the first phases that we completed a few years ago, and we feel like this phase 2 is going to be an awesome attraction and amenity to the public. I mean, we've added 4.5 full-size recreation fields that will be available for use in the spring of 2022. And with that, we built a specific restroom facility that will facilitate that area. So they have restrooms down in that area, so that if we have recreation leagues or just general users that want to go play on that area, they can use it. With this phase, we also added a 10-court pickleball complex on the northeast corner of the park. And that's, I think, going to be a big hit. We've had a lot of people asking about that, and along with those, we put lighting on all that 10-court pickleball complex, along with sport court lighting on all the other existing courts. And we're hoping that this project could be completed by the end of July, sometime in the 1st of August. It's pushed a little bit past the date, but we've been moving along. Lastly, with this park is we really made a big improvement to our festival field area. We expanded it with the intent that in the spring of 2022 we will be looking to host Pony Express Days out at Wright. Finally, we've had plans for the last couple of years to move it, and we've had some unforeseen issues that we've had to deal with and had to move it back to Nolan, where we've traditionally had it. But making these improvements to these venues and these types of areas are going to be big for our community, because it's going to give us big gathering spaces that the residents can come, be together, and spend time together and just enjoy each other's company.
Well, we've seen how important that is coming out of COVID restrictions. how much we as human beings need to be able to gather together and enjoy each other's company and have all of the accommodations just convenient to us. So that's exciting news. So thank you for all of your work there, Brad. What's next on the schedule?
Yeah, another project that we have going that's been kind of running simultaneously with Corey Wright is the Silver Lake Community Park is being built, and it's close to a completion date as well. This park, we took a detention pond area and we widened it a little bit so that it's about the length of a full-size field in there, so that residents in that area will have a place to go play some active sports. And then also we planted lots of trees, we put trail systems in, we put lighting, and then we themed the park around the stars, moon, sun theme. So if you get a chance and go out, you can go out and see how we built it and kind of what it has to offer. And really all we're waiting for at this point is just to get the safety surfacing put in, and that park's going to be open and ready for the public to use here hopefully within the next couple of weeks. So
well, that'll be an exciting addition to that part of our city. Also under design is Smith Ranch Park, isn't it?
Yeah, so this year we it would have been early in the spring, we put out an RFP for a design company to work with to try to get the master plan design for the Smith Ranch Community Park. We've already done a couple of public open houses on the project, and we've tried to solicit feedback at some of the events that we've held from the public to try to see what types of amenities they would like to see in that park. And we've really nailed in a concept plan that's going to come before council probably here in the next couple of weeks and make sure that they feel comfortable with it and get some feedback from them. But this park's really unique because it's got a delicate balance between kind of like a wildlife aspect and how that really transitions into like a formal park aspect. And it's utilizing green space and then utilizing the native space and conserving and kind of maintaining the wildlife component and maybe saving some water and things of that nature. So
yes, as you mentioned, that is a unique situation with that park, particularly with its location, and it shows the effort and the planning of the city to not only provide a variety of activity for our residents, but also protect space for the wildlife.
For sure, yeah. I mean, where our community is dominated with a lot of like mountain ridges and a lot of like wash structure, it is important for us to maintain and keep those and keep them in a way that the wildlife that live there can, be supported through an ecosystem. And so we're trying to figure out what that balance is and what that looks like through not just leaving it in a native state where it's just in its existing condition, but even enhancing it so that it's more beneficial for some of the wildlife to thrive and do well there. So we want it to be educational. We want it to set a trend in the city so that when we build stuff along the wash, we kind of have a footprint. So this is a good first step in that process.
Well, I know that's a lot of projects for any city, but I don't think we're done yet. What else is there? I know there's some other things going on.
Yeah, so next this year with the new budget cycle coming up, we put in some money to do a master plan for the Pony Express Regional Park. And the Pony Express Regional Park is basically tied to the Pony Express Memorial Cemetery. And so we've got to figure out that balance between what portion of it's going to be the cemetery and then which portion is going to be regional park. And we just want a design firm to come in and really show us like what are the things that we need to have a cemetery long term with the resident build out that we have, and with the space that we have left, what are the types of amenities and improvements that we can make in that park. So as we go through that design process, I'm sure the cemetery probably won't seek as much feedback from the residents, but the amenity side, I would anticipate that the residents would have a chance to weigh in and kind of give their feedback on the types of amenities and things that they would like to see in that park as well. So that's kind of what's slated for this year. I don't know of any other cities that are building this many parks and then receiving as many parks from developers as we are right now. There's a lot of parks out there. It's exciting though. It's growing, and it gives the residents a lot of opportunities.
And yet we do anticipate, if we can give a little bit of a teaser here, we can't talk too much about it, but there will be another announcement probably later this month.
Yeah, we're. I mean, we've got some other projects that, like Pioneer Park in the city center side. We budgeted to put in a disc golf course through that park, so that's going to be coming online pretty soon. And then there's another park in the city center area that will have an announcement that will come at a later date that I think will be a pretty cool amenity to add. That kind of fits the mold of what Eagle Mountain is, and I think it'll be something that people will gravitate to and really want to be a part of. So,
well, that's exciting. We'll look forward to that announcement. With all of these parks, managing all of these parks and every sprinkler in a park, is that a challenge, Brad?
Oh yes, that's a significant
How
challenge.
many? Sorry to interrupt you. How many sprinklers are we talking about? Do you know?
We don't have exact counts, but we're fairly confident that we have 40,000 plus sprinkler heads in the community that we maintain just as city staff. That's no HOA properties or anything. That's just on city property. And so I think we need to keep that in mind as we move forward and people are reporting to us that there's a lot of sprinklers out there. So as much detail as we can get when people are trying to send us information and whatnot, so that we can go address the issues. The more information that we have, the easier it is for us to go out and just take care of it easily. That being said, I think that there's some simple ways that residents can reach out to us and they can help us.
Okay, how if a resident does see an issue, how do they go about reporting that?
So the best way to report it is through the resident portal on our homepage, which is the eaglemountaincity.com, and then there's a link on the homepage for the resident portal, and then there's a report an issue tab that you just report an issue, and it's not just for Parks Department, but there's all the other departments there as well, and if they write all the information in there, and just let us know what the issue is and send us as much information as they can. We're very quick to try to react and try to take care of those issues. And that's the best way to get a hold of us. And then also, if there's something that comes up that's urgent or that something needs to be taken care of like right at the moment, the best way is to just contact the hotline, because then it goes directly to whoever's on call, and they can take care of that issue right then. The number for the hotline is 801-789-5959, and then there will be a selection list which you can select which department you need to get a hold of. So
now, using those portals, using the hotline, there are several reasons why that's important. One is that's going to be the quickest response. And also, if there is follow-up information needed, then it allows staff to contact that person to get more information or get clarification, and possibly even follow up and let you know that it has been taken care of. And it allows staff to have those relationships with our residents and a direct line of communication.
Yeah, definitely. We want to work with the public, and if they see concerns out there that are safety concerns or water issues or any of those types of things, we want to hear about them. Because if we don't hear about them, we can't change them or we can't correct them. And so until we hear about them, we just can't make those changes or we can't make those adjustments. So we love to have feedback from the residents. We try to get back to everyone in a timely manner, and we try to address all these issues the best way that we can. Sometimes some issues take a little bit longer than others, so we just appreciate when people are patient with us. But we're always out there in the public just trying to make it better and keep it safe so that the residents can enjoy the parks and the community. So.
Well, Brad, thank you for being with us today. Thank you to all of our resident viewers, and come join us again. Thank you.